A few weeks ago, we revealed a mystery ingredient to our chef Ben and normal Mike.
We then threw them on a plane to Germany to learn all about that ingredient so they could each create an incredible celebratory dish with what they've learned.
Now they're back, Mike has had some help here from our food team to balance the scales, so let's see if he can
Beat the chef! Boys, you have 2 hours on the clock. Get ready in 3, 2, 1, kochen!
Oh, I like that.
Mildly impressed.
I mean, I have no idea whether it's correct.
Right, boys, do you want to tell us what ingredient you're working with?
Well, you already know, but you don't. Our mystery ingredient was grapes. So you can imagine how teacher's petty he's been for the last 2 weeks. It was good fun.
Oh, guys, crops
no, no, get out of my space with your grapes. I am making a German-style, Schweinbraten style pot pie with mash and a slaw.
Style.
Yeah, lots of styles because there may be a chance that I'm not 100% authentic with this.
Shock.
Oh, well, that would be a first for us.
So, Schweinbraten, loose translation, roast pork, slow cooked. So I'm basically going to brown off some pork. I'm going to use that in my pie filling, which I'm going to stew it for 45 minutes, not roast it, hence the style.
Yeah, okay, right. So the translation is roast pork and you're doing fried and stewed pork.
But I am using flavours like caraway, which are synonymous with Schweinbraten. So, you know, I'm giving a nod to it.
Ebbers, how are you planning on beating the Schweinbraten?
I'm kind of doing a snacking selection of soft salted German pretzels, mustard, smoked ham and raisin beignets and pickled grapes.
Raisin
He's
beignets.
doing another cheese board. He's doing a cheese board. He always does cheese boards.
I've taken a couple of baked potatoes and I am quickly just scooping out the flesh and mashing them quickly before mixing it into my choux paste.
What have you done with the rest of the potatoes?
Nothing yet. I've stacked them neatly on the side in order to decide.
And beignets, they're that famous German donut, are they?
I'm also adding in raisins, which are sun-dried and then rehydrated in wine, and Black Forest ham, so oak smoked ham from the same kind of region, because I want to try and get some of the flavours of the oak barrelling that we were shown into the dish. And oak and nutmeg, things like that, come from the oaking of wine.
Tastes like vanilla.
My beignet mix I will dollop and fry off later on.
I'm frying my pork in grapeseed oil. It's like rapeseed oil, but with a G in front.
No, it's nothing like rapeseed oil. It's made from the seeds of grapes, which is a byproduct.
Now that's beginning to brown. A teaspoon of caraway seeds in. Gonna let the flavour from those release in the hot oils, and then I'm gonna transfer the pork to a baking tray. I better stop there because I don't want to get carried away.
So we were in the Pfalz region of Germany, which is just off the Rhine. And the vineyards themselves is kind of an ideal location for growing grapes, and it was there that we met Christoph, who owns and runs Hamel Winery, as it has been there since 1723.
German Jamie. Better German Jamie.
Better German Jamie. Can you explain how wine gets made from the seed right up until the bottle? What's the process?
The recipe, the ground recipe, never changed in the last 8,000 years. We take grapes, fresh grapes, we press them, we have juice, we ferment it, and we have wine. But of course, the technique to produce it, that changed, of course, in 8,000 years a lot. Because in the cellar, we have all these possibilities of very clean stainless steel tanks. We can cool down, we can heat up, yeah, all these kind of things to get most of the aroma out.
While we were there, Christoph gave us a spectacular lunch. So soft pretzels, some cream cheeses, Bavarian cheeses, lots of meat, some pork sausage, some liverwurst, some radishes, a real delicious spread that we could all pick and choose from, and accompanied with wine.
Now I'm using the same pan, all that lovely pork juice, and I'm frying off turnips, onions, carrots. A lovely balance of sweet and bitter veg. Now my veg is softened, garlic's going in.
The thing that brings this dish together is the bread that it's all eaten with. And in this case, I'm going for soft, salted pretzels. So this is a bread dough, strong flour, yeasted, same as we always do, although with lard. So you don't need to flour it out, you just roll it out. So you get something about that length, then fold it into a U, cross it over again and flip. Stick down, fingers in the middle, and onto a tray.
You can always tell when he's slightly nervous about something though, because he doesn't do it slowly. He
No,
has
does
to
it
do
really
it quickly, because it's like a muscle memory thing.
Yeah.
And now my little bread knots need to prove for about half an hour in this room temperature before the next stage.
Boys, white wine vinegar.
Oh, more grapes.
Hey! I've got to be honest, when I think of European wine countries, Germany isn't the first that comes to mind.
No, you're right in the sense that I think by wine volume it's France, by amount of the country under vine it's Spain, but Germany, hundreds of years ago, had probably the best reputation in the world for the most expensive and exclusive wines.
1900, the best Rieslings, the price was 36 marks. You know, wage per hour at that time was 10 cents, 10 pfennig. So it was 1-2 month wages for a bottle of wine. If you have a closer look to German history, there is no wonder why we had big problems to export German products and of course German wine. In the last 30 years, what we observe is yes, a renaissance of golden times. I can understand that wine connoisseurs all over the world are not really very enthusiastic about paying the same amount like in 19th century, but the prices are climbing and the demand is increasing. Now with the know-how of the young generation, with the technology, with the plant protection we can supply nowadays, the quality is very good. We are coming back in Germany and it's a success story.
Ebbers, I know you don't talk about it very much, but you've done some wine courses and you know a lot about wine. Were you still able to learn stuff?
Yeah, loads. On the basis that I'd learnt a lot from textbooks. And actually, it's not until you're in the vineyard you can see what difference all of it makes.
You sort of assume, yeah, it's difficult and there's a level of expertise there, but times that by 27,000, that's how complex it is. It was really impressive.
How's climate change affect what you do?
One thing is clear, the climate change is, I can help it, is human-made. It's in everybody's mouth and it's clear. Every year in spring, the spring comes earlier. Sometimes there is not even a spring anymore. You have winter, boom, and suddenly it's 22 degrees or 24.
So the vine comes to life, but perhaps too early.
Exactly, that is the point. And then there is huge problems, huge.
Veg is looking great and the sauce has reduced down. So now I'm chucking in a load of chicken stock and my pork back in. That's going to simmer gently for about 45 minutes till the sauce has reduced down, but the pork is perfectly tender.
My pickled grapes are pretty simple. A glass of Riesling, white wine vinegar, a tablespoon or so of sugar, and then all of the grapes. 4 different colours, all plucked and they've had their stems removed. Going to leave them whole, and I'm going to bring it up to a boil, and then pretty much take it off and leave them to carry on cooking in their residual heat. What that hopefully will do, take out some of those wonderful colours from the skins of the grapes. Some of them will blister and pop, but some will remain quite whole.
You obviously had a great trip. What would you say is the most interesting thing that you learned?
I like it when they take the traditional artisanal approach of, you know, hand picking and trimming the vines. They still do by hand en masse with like new science, new technology. And the bit that messed with my head up slightly was the release of pheromones. So fruit flies, which are a pest in the vineyard, are attracted to other fruit flies when they give off sexual hormones. So they can go and find them.
Don't waft your sexual hormones this way.
At the end of every vine, he had a little tag that was emitting sexual hormones into the air to confuse the navigation system of the flies so they couldn't find each other, mate, and therefore they all die.
It's a wonder you got home.
It's not because that they eat a lot of kilos or whatever. It's not a problem. The problem is the worm gets inside. What the worm is releasing afterwards, vinegar bacterials. And then your vineyard is infected with vinegar bacterials. This is, I must really say, one of the best things what the industry gave us in the last 30, 40 years. So we don't have to use any poison, nothing.
You know that shirt that you used to wear at uni when we went out and it just repelled all the girls in the nightclubs? It's pretty much exactly the same as that.
Same as this one, isn't it?
I've got some onions sweating down in some butter, a bay leaf or two, and some mustard seeds. This is going to be the base to my amazing stewed cabbage, or braised cabbage.
So I've opted to take some German cheese, Camberzola, which is a hybrid of Camembert and Gorgonzola.
Brilliant.
That's actually German.
German cheese. Wrapped in vine leaves in celebration of what we were told about the canopy management in the vineyard.
99% of the aroma in the wine of the grape is coming out of the skin. When the grape is hanging in the sun, the skin becomes bigger. Bigger skin, more aroma. So
Is that why you remove the leaves then? So the leaves protect the grapes from the sun?
absolutely. But when there are too much leaves, and then suddenly you get weeks of rain. So when the wind comes, it will not go through the grape zone. So they're not drying off so fast. So you have the problem of fungus. If you open up, then the wind goes through. They are drying perfectly after rain. But then suddenly you get 3 weeks of very, very, very hot, and then you get a sunburn. So it's a little bit like gambling. Every vine has to be pruned by hand. There is no machine can do that. You have to do it.
Onions are looking lovely and soft, so I've seasoned them now with salt and pepper, and then in with sliced cabbage and chicory.
So next up, boiling water with bicarb. So these proved and expanded for about half an hour, 40 minutes, and then I froze them. So they're really easy to pick up without them being all loose, which means you keep the shape and then you can boil them. And then you need 30, 35 seconds in there before taking them back out and putting them back on the tray. And that's kind of what's beautiful about a pretzel. It is boiled or steamed and then baked. So the alkaline solution gelatinizes the outside, which is what helps it to colour better in the oven, but also it keeps it a tight, thick, chewy skin and a really dense bread inside, so it doesn't rise too much in the oven.
Red wine vinegar going in with my cabbage. So I'm going to reduce that down to a sticky glaze, and then I'm going to add in some grape juice and some red wine. Ask me which red wine, or what?
Which or what red wine?
Pinot Noir. The same grape variety of the vineyard that we stood in and interviewed Christoph. So I'm making an amazing mash. Cold water in a pan. I've diced the potatoes because they will cook quicker, but they'll also mash quicker, so I don't overwork the potato.
In my opinion, and we had it lots while we were there, the perfect accompaniment to soft pretzels is mustard. So I'm going to make mustard. So soaking mustard seeds overnight in white wine, Riesling, water, salt and sugar, and now blend it up into mustard.
Oh, that was
Beautiful.
Shut up!
How much has consumer tastes and habits and kind of wine choices changed?
There are a lot of issues like grape varieties, terroir, climatic change, let's say. Everything is necessary, but the most essential part is demand and market. So what you demand will create future wine. And our aim is to find out what our customers seek for. So to find the best fit.
I am making a roux, butter, flour, cooking out the flour, then adding milk a little bit at a time. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to thicken my pie filling with it. So I've brushed my tin with egg white, and then my filling is going into the tin. I'm very happy with the taste and the consistency. Oh!
What's that?
I nearly left in all the flavour.
Oh, stretched.
So I've got to act quickly, because if this gets too hot, it's going to ruin.
Don't put it in the oven then.
Egg wash.
It's been attacked by a tiger.
Boys, there's just 10 minutes left.
Now for some beignets scooped into our hot grapeseed oil until golden on each side.
Potatoes are now nice and tender, so I'm giving them a mash. I'm going to chuck in some butter, some milk, and then finish it off with a bit of sour cream to taste.
Right, just 5 minutes.
Please don't drop your pie.
Nearly dropped it.
Pie time, pie time, pie time, pie time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step away from your dishes.
You're only allowed to have half of that, because you were mid-air.
Right, let's get these into the sexies. Well, that was a battle.
Impressive.
That is a lot of food.
Here is my dish, served with a 2018 Spat Burgunder, which is a red wine for us normals, made from Pinot Noir, which were the grapes that were growing in the actual vineyard that we went to. This is actual wine made by Christoph, so let's try that as well at the same time. Dig in.
Cheers.
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 Oh, actually, a wonderful pairing.
That's very
That's
lovely.
lovely. Actually, like, really sweet as well because the sultanas are in there as well. It takes me to a very happy place, Michael.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Looking at it, it looks pretty basic.
Homemade.
But at the same time, flavors are really they're really smart. They're sophisticated.
You've lost the room.
No,
you've lost
I'm
the
on
room.
your side.
Ebba, let's eat yours.
This is a bit more forks down, hands in, with a glass of Christoph's Muller Thurgau.
See, I can get into wine if it all tastes like that.
Whoa.
That's very
Okay.
What's this supposed to be? Café du Monde?
No, not those beignets.
Oh, okay.
That is a very good texture for a pretzel.
I don't look him in the eye, but that was spectacular.
Try pickled grape. It tastes like sweeties.
Oh no.
What was this cheese?
Gorgonzola.
It's very German Ebbers.
German Ebbers would be proud and would give you a lift in his space taxi any day. Heidi hi.
We've got to go have a chat.
Yeah, I know.
We've got to have a chat.
I'm taking both wines.
Mike's already finished his Muller.
Barry and I took a long time to discuss that.
You did.
Because actually we think this is potentially the closest battle for a long time. And today, our winner is Michael Huttlestone.
How? Genuinely, it may look like a humble pie, but once you combine everything together, it's absolutely genius.
Cooking from the heart.
Yep. And whilst we thought, Ebbers, everything on that plate is fantastic.
I can't get away from a snacking board.
No, you need to bring things together.
I only got the win because they got bored. Cheers.
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 Oh, you need to top yourself up.
Yeah, I do. Well, while you're drinking, a massive thank you to Christoph, Bruno, and everyone at BASF Agricultural Solutions for making this trip happen and bringing me the win.
And if you want to see more from behind the scenes of our trip to Germany, then click in the link down below and that will take you to behind the scenes video.
You beat the chef.
I did.
You've done it. You can retire now.
Have I completed sorted?
Yeah, you've completed sorted.
We know the Germans do pork really, really well. So basically I just wanted to do a pork-based dish, serve it with some red wine, something robust that will give it some oomph, which is also German.